NDC for some NDC for some Miami party Miami party. And they are Black Wednesday ma behind this Libya. And kola 16 etimiu, kola 16 etimiu. Mo sie kola no mama je sie kola no say your friend say Palestinian. Mass grave and the kola no one mama one papa. Common MP wetimi anko. Then the minister etimi anko. Someone mo ade ayashere we mo dem kwa sanson na kwa kosie wo ho kwa sanson na kwa kosie.
Onua wo hwe bridge kese a abo eye oman Ghana ma helicopter ya enam hwiem okodi ne djuma wo oboase na akotia hwe dua so abahwe from ama emu nipa emu doctors ekunini mu ejewiase hokọ na wo hwe de wi a yasese nipa edi egu bottom ya pra nipa sene ya pra emura edi egu eye kokọ bottom na esusu nipa na tumi se afi we de enema entene enema nkoyi na wo hwe de wi a nipa ti ya hye unhunu asemese na ohunu obenten unhunu muntala ena unhunu doctor buama ena afeso no se Mr. Samuel ko unhunu o mo nyina hyehe oyo ne be na afedi atesi oma wesem bodi eni enyan na ebusua mum yen konkohwe emra ye welcome omo emra play no ekofa wo free eye bush ho ede omo baaye no ye be kwakohwe eno so na ansa na ye be ko ho no mum ye ni kan kotie eye NDC party member bia o kasa senia atoranche bi to baby fo ema Ghana pani bie no ho timi si ase ekomo ebusua no mpo yakọ na ye sie emofra ne se nkokọ ya nyam amanfo ma ama ye de akohwio magu amnam na se se de agbugbo ba beduru se afa de mpanifo a omotutu kwan na eluplate mi kotehwe efom ema mu adehye nyina etimi efrimu no momya konkotie eye maame no emra na ye koba ne a ewo ho no ye de ebeto am so
NDC for some NDC for some Miami party Miami party. And they are Black Wednesday ma behind this Libya. And kola 16 etimiu, kola 16 etimiu. Mo sie kola no mama je sie kola no say your friend say Palestinian. For mass grave and the kola no one mama papa. Common MP wetimi anko. Then the minister etimi anko. Someone mo ade ayashere we mo dem kwa sanson na kwa kosie wo ho kwa sanson na kwa kosie e se me wa someone we dem kwa sanson no enko hey se na me ho si me say ma chuchu someone the minister kasa mamu fama no and collect me a woo common MC 8 means ho mo baby akwa free mo baby akwa free where the monkey to she dignity sa o mane buama ko wu say vice chairman asante we ko wu say ade ya tumu amuti ene
sania esuo ye no saa na ewia so egusu eye sa pepepe ne tie emofra ya omutu kwan a omu bana ekwan so se trader o se tanker o you overtaking se overspeeding se efridie ben ekwan no na nye mo kire mo nka da baby pothole to da baby na eye driver onu ehunu nyansa se tanker ye yi ni ti bai de o se mi gina sevu enkwala ne nkwa na onu so tanker adwini wuye so of course the driving school so on driving school ye ja cash ni nsem na wotimi eja kwanyam amanfo ma na ye koto omu inagu amana ba akum no saa eno na yankopon so timi se wahwaso bi atwa Ghana mpenifo no mu bika ama enne wo hwe ekwan a accident yenim senka esi wo fom dodo na esi wo fom no ene de Ghana yante asem de na eluplemom etimi akọwoso duam ama na ti atofom de ya na je se aba wo de bo techi no wo de bo Ghana mpanifo no kokọ se sa atorentem bi eto eye adehye mu a e wo se mutimi bo pempe mu mo heye ha na ka mutimi kwohwe na ebusuampo mu hye omu nkran no etimi ama so de ene ehuntansa ye de bebo wan eno na maame pani ebe kasae se ne ekwan a empanifo no mu bi adehye no mu bi ahire wo madehye change adwo when your politics asemo na obi entimi ensi ho se ye nokre se enye nokre enne ohun de esie eti ebusia oh my Ghana ebeyeye sesie no ye fa so bone ko bo obi awo omampeni a otra konwa so ena sesie ano na so mu ba beye dududu amanfo be kansem a ensem wo kese ensem polo edi ewura na sum na se wanye peni mate mante a ene de besi wo man ni mu no ebesi yes ebusia momo nhwe ekwan a eye Ghana de hye NDC penifo etimi eja ewiase ho yayaya wakra se wo kwa ba ene omuntimi ama meka yensa no momme yakonkohwe eho emra na yekoba ne a ewo ho no ye de ebeto amoso.
Next bearer party, please move now.
The first casket has just been seen at the tail of the flag.
First bearer party is now marching.
And the Ghana flag, red, gold, green. Of course, these were gentlemen who were all on national assignment, who were not on some frolic of their own. They were on a national assignment to the Obogu where the government was launching an event, and that is where this was happening. And any moment from now, these caskets will all make their way to the tables.
When the casket is moving towards the cutter flag and it passes in front of you, I'll request that all military personnel will pay the appropriate compliments as they pass by to the cutter flag. The firing party is now ready. Firing party. A request for us to pay the appropriate compliments as the casket moves into position. Second cutter flag will now commence movement to the aircraft. Second bearer party will now commence movement to the aircraft.
There's a lot of tears among some members of the Ghana Armed Forces who are here. Of course, some of these pilots and flight crew were their colleagues. They operated together from this Air Force base every day, operating and performing their responsibilities as members of the Ghana Armed Forces. And today some of their colleagues went out there this morning and have not returned. A very tragic accident. And so just in front of me I see two members of the Ghana Armed Forces in an embrace really in tears about this very tragic accident that has claimed the life of 8 people, 5 government officials and 3 members of the Ghana Armed Forces and the crew that were carrying them to this national assignment and duty tour
the second
Ashanti region.
casket has been received by the second bearer party, and they will be now moving to the second cut-off flag. The third bearer party is now moving to the aircraft to receive the third casket. Let's pay the appropriate compliments as the third casket moves to the cut-off flag.
All 8 caskets will make their way to the cut-off flag as you hear the announcement on the PA system, and 3 of them are currently out of the flight. The remaining 5 will also be taken out in the same fashion. The Ghana Armed Forces men and women who are on this ground have prepared for this. When we came here, there were a couple of rehearsals ongoing, and so the burial parties match the flight. They take the caskets and they move it to the cut-off flag, and then once it is lowered down to the cut-off flag, they make their way back to the flight to pick the next casket. And so they are going to do this in turn until all 8 caskets, signifying and representing all 8 people, all 8 persons who tragically passed away in this helicopter crash in the Adansi area in the Ashanti region, are all moved. And when they do, there are clergymen and women here, as well as imams, who are representing the religious backgrounds
is now ready to receive
persons who have
the
tragically
fourth
passed.
casket.
There will be short prayers on them before this ceremony, very brief ceremony to receive the bodies of these persons to be brought to an end.
And the fourth casket is now being moved to be placed on the fourth cataflag. Let's pay the appropriate compliments as the fifth casket is moved to the fifth cataflag. We now have the sixth burial party moving to receive the sixth casket. Request that all those who are standing behind the cataflags should move to enable the ceremony to go on smoothly. The seventh burial party, or the sixth burial party, is now moving with the casket to the sixth cataflag. Let's pay the appropriate compliments as they pass by. now have the 7th bearer party moving to the tail of the aircraft for the 7th caskets. After all the caskets have been retrieved from the aircraft, we will hand over to the clergy to commence the religious aspects of this brief ceremony, where they will be saying prayers before movement of the bodies or the caskets to the morgue. We are all aware of this unfortunate incident. We have the 7th burial party moving with the caskets to the 7th chapter flag. The 8th burial party is now moving to also pick up the 8th and final casket to be placed on the 8th cataflag. We now have the 8th and last casket being moved from the aircraft to the 8th cataflag.
So all 8 persons whose bodies have been brought from the
Owo edaso edi edom eko. Owo ama te se waka amanfo bebre kasabo ato wonyem. Maka se mesi owo se woton bibi e wo se yanyina ye free bi eda se boa krampo na mesi wo de ebekọ. Na ekwan ya befa so obekọ ne asem. Emu asofo nkom hye. Emu akonfo emu eni hunadi su eni suade hunu a omu hunu ebeka. Na yentimi nsia no. Ene mohwe ne esiu. Nyame ya ade. Bravo. Nyame ya ade. Se de besi bia emfase da nyame. Enti ye da wasi o nyame egwama. Ye yiwa ye nyame egwama. Ye kanfu o nyame egwama. Nyame egwama. Ye da wasi nyame ya ade. Ai senia atorentem atu obi na yentimi ehunu Ghana opani bi yentimi antwiniti wo ho nipa 16 on se eduru we mu so de ehu dewura kase aye bo ehu pentenku aye tie enfoni aye twa edi for social media so TV so akra na yire se wo kwa aba okoye no ya mutu ama bio yei oman no de be ehefa na mpanifuo no modi oman no ti akwa se maka wo mesese oman no se moton Ghana dia munche sika no ma obia wo na obia hunu kon obefa obia hunu kon obefa so a odi ni sika ebetimi ape baby akọ hide NDC MPP emu party enketenkete wo nchenchen ne ade se mahunu nipa na anyale wu eso wakwa akọ emu oya na de yebeka ne se owo kurade a saa na yeka se enkwa ntimenje ai owo kurade a enkwa ontimenye saa na de bia yebeka no nenso no eja yemfa ne saa obo ade ne de ne omoma ayen ene wasa age omo afri yensem ai saa na tie nti aseda nyina ewo nyame saa France we mom yemfa nkonkohye anasa yemfa nkonkoye politics eye Ghana ena atorenchem atoyen nti enye NDC enye MPP eye Ghana de hye ena efrimuo enye NDC fu ade hye ena efrimuo na busa ho se wona eto wo a ka obeye den etimi to obia ebetimi ato obia nso nti we de Ghana asofo na edifo ye besere se bibi sei muhu na muka aka monhwe na monsere eho obo ade na nka onsi ho kwan emfa maye na anya se ne koba ne saa mo so mo wo asudie efi se ode amawo se beka no wan kasa wan timi ampe kwan ana asofo no timi ampe kwan bi timi ensi ho ano de a na je se mo nkom hye no abem ye timi ensi ho kwan na edimu enwie pa yeso ku abo na wi atwa ne tina de aka ne nyina enka ahoma yes enti ebusuan de esie no aseda ena ebeka se de ma onyankopon minim se wa wo hwe comment no won tia se me kasa aseda minim se wa wo hwe me no won ebie na wan kotia se me da nyame ase anase aseda e nyankopon de ano nyankopon de ebesi bia no ye se onoara ena oyo me emfa sa fancy we enkoma satan if say satan ni ho a nyankopon ni ho sa so na nyankopon so ni ho a satan eni ho yes ahanom Sun God TV hwa wo hwem subscribe na share like se na bia me drop video bi ato a oni nipa obedi kai ehuni kane